Tesla just did something very Tesla. And if you blinked, you probably missed how big this actually is. Quietly, without a flashy event or Elon tweets hyping it up, Tesla deleted the word standard from its cheapest Model 3 and Model Y, and in doing so, fundamentally changed what the lowest rung of Tesla ownership looks like in 2026. No standard range, no standard plus, no badge at all. Just Model 3, Model Y. Cheaper than before, simpler on paper, and more compromised than many buyers may realize. At first glance, this move looks harmless. After all, Tesla has a long history of tweaking trims, renaming variants, and adjusting prices overnight. But dig deeper, and this change reveals something much bigger about Tesla's current strategy: lowering the price of entry at almost any cost, even if it means redefining what base model really means. Let's start with the money, because that's the hook. The cheapest Model 3 now starts at $38,630, which is a massive $5,500 gap below the next trim up. The Model Y starts at $41,630 in rear-wheel drive form, and Tesla has added a brand new entry-level all-wheel drive Model Y at $43,630. On paper, that makes Tesla look more accessible than it has in years, especially as EV prices across the industry creep upward. But Tesla didn't just lower prices, it lowered expectations. Both the Model 3 and Model Y base versions take meaningful hits in range and performance. The Model 3 uses a smaller 69.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack instead of the 80 kilowatt-hour unit found in the premium rear-wheel drive model. That drops range to 321 miles, which is still respectable, but it's 42 miles less than the premium. Acceleration also suffers, with 0 to 60 miles per hour taking 5.8 seconds instead of 4.9. Interestingly, Tesla lists the same 286 horsepower figure for both cars, suggesting that software or motor output limits are doing the heavy lifting here. Top speed remains capped at 125 miles per hour, which means Tesla is clearly prioritizing efficiency and longevity rather than outright performance for these entry models. The Model Y tells a similar story, but the compromises feel more noticeable. The rear-wheel drive base Model Y drops to 321 miles of range, down 36 miles compared to the premium RWD. Acceleration slows dramatically, with 0 to 60 miles per hour now taking 6.8 seconds, 1.4 seconds slower than the premium version. That's a big difference in a vehicle that's already heavier and less aerodynamic than the Model 3. The newly added base Model Y AWD complicates things in an interesting way. It uses the same battery pack as the RWD model, but range drops to 294 miles. In exchange, you get a far quicker 0 to 60 time of 4.6 seconds, which suddenly feels far more Tesla-like in everyday driving. This trim exists for one reason. Buyers still associate Tesla with quick acceleration, and the base RWD-Y just wasn't delivering that emotional hit. Charging speeds also take a step back. While higher-spec Teslas can charge at up to 250 kilowatts on a DC fast charger, the base Model 3 and Y are capped at 225 kilowatts. That might not sound like a huge deal, but over repeated fast charging sessions, it adds up, especially on road trips where time matters. Tesla also made a subtle but important change with tires and wheels. All three base models now ride on 18-inch Hankook Ion Evo high-efficiency EV tires. These are designed primarily to maximize range, not grip or handling. The Model Y Premium uses 19-inch wheels, while the base Y comes with 18-inch aperture wheels, though you can option up to 19s if you want. The upside here is a slightly taller sidewall, which could improve ride comfort, something the Model Y has never been particularly good at. The downside is reduced cornering performance and less visual drama. Visually, Tesla has made sure you can tell a base Model Y from a more expensive one, even if there's no badge saying so. The light bars connecting the headlights and taillights on higher trims are gone. This is a huge visual tell, especially at night. If you see a Model Y without those signature light strips, you're looking at the cheapest version. The Model 3 doesn't get off quite as easily, though its new 18-inch Prismato wheels are far less open and far less sporty than those on higher trims. Lighting tech also takes a hit. Automatic high beams are still included, but adaptive headlights are gone. Exterior mirrors are now manually adjustable, and on the Model Y, they don't even fold automatically anymore. These sound like small things, but they chip away at the premium, futuristic experience Tesla has spent years building. Color options have also been simplified. Stealth Gray is now the only no-cost color, and it's nearly black. If you want Pearl White, that's an extra $1,000. Diamond Black costs $1,500. That's it. No reds, blues, silvers, or anything remotely expressive. Tesla is clearly optimizing paint logistics and margins here, not buyer personalization. On the technology side, Tesla kept its Hardware 4 camera and sensor suite, which is good news for future software upgrades. But here's the catch. The only driver assistance feature included at no cost is adaptive cruise control. Lane centering, something many competitors include standard, is now locked behind full self-driving, and FSD itself is in transition. Until February 14th, 2026, you can still buy it outright for $8,000. After that, it becomes subscription only at $99 a month, with Tesla openly stating that price will rise as capabilities expand. That changes the ownership equation dramatically. A base Tesla might look cheap up front, but unlock a few key features and the price balloons fast. Inside, the cost-cutting becomes even more obvious. The perforated vegan leather inserts are gone, replaced with textile fabric. Ambient lighting has been stripped back, losing the wraparound glow of higher trims. The steering wheel is now manually adjustable, though the front seats thankfully remain power adjustable and heated. Interestingly, seat controls are handled through the touchscreen instead of physical switches, which feels both futuristic and mildly annoying. The Model Y base trims lose even more. The rear passenger screen is gone. The so-called Airwave rear ventilation system is deleted, replaced with basic manually adjustable vents. In exchange, Tesla redesigned the center console, adding more storage for front occupants and giving it a minimalist Cybertruck-like vibe. It's practical, but it also reinforces how stripped down this version really is. One of the strangest parts of this whole update. Instead of removing the glass roof on the base Model Y to save money, Tesla kept the glass, but covered it with a traditional headliner. Why? No one outside Tesla truly knows. Meanwhile, the Model 3 base keeps its panoramic glass roof fully exposed. It's an odd inconsistency that feels more like a production compromise than a deliberate design choice. Audio systems also take a hit. The Model Y base drops to a 7-speaker setup, down from the 15-speaker system with premium subwoofer in premium trims. FM radio isn't listed at all, which is shocking considering how many buyers still rely on terrestrial radio for news, traffic, and local content. The Model 3 base keeps the same speaker count as the premium RWD, but also appears to lose traditional radio support. All of this raises a bigger question. Who exactly are these cars for? If you're purely focused on buying the cheapest brand new Tesla possible, these models absolutely serve that purpose. They get you into the ecosystem, give you access to Tesla's Supercharger network, and still deliver strong range compared to most EVs at this price point. But if you step back and look at the broader market, things get complicated fast. Lightly used 2025 Model 3s and Model Ys often sell for the same money or less and include all the features Tesla stripped out to hit these new prices. Better audio, better lighting, more comfort, and more tech, all without paying extra subscriptions. We've already seen Tesla try this strategy before. The low-cost Cybertruck variant was quietly pulled after just a few months due to weak demand. Buyers didn't want a Cybertruck that felt compromised, and that same risk exists here. Tesla deleting the word standard isn't just a naming change, it's a psychological move. Without the label, these cars don't sound stripped. They're just Teslas. But make no mistake, these are the most bare-bones Teslas sold in years. Whether that works depends on how much buyers value the badge versus the experience. Tesla is betting that price still wins. The question is how long that bet holds before buyers realize that sometimes used and better really is the smarter choice.